first bout this evening, getting ready to take the track, are your champions from the 2022-2023 season. Taking the track now, it's the Runaway Brides. Tonight, as the Runaway Brides begin their defense of their title, skating for the team this evening, number 00, Novocaine. Number 4, Cherry Kiss. Number 19, Kitsch. Number 55, Skid Vicious. Number 95, Lightning the Queen. Number 192, Milani Mangler. Number 487, Tequila. Number 623, Hollywood. Number 713, Shank Williams. Number 772, Al Annihilate Ya. Number 151, Ash Smash'em. Number 420, Astro Thought. That is your 2023 Runaway Brides. And now taking the track, the competitors this evening. Valhalla calls, it's the Doomsday Valkyries. If these competitors look familiar, this was our 1 versus 4 matchup in the playoffs last season, so could be time to settle a score this evening. Skating tonight for the Valkyries, number 007, Clutch Cannon. Number 13, Hugs and Stitches. Number 17, Bitch Please. Number 22, Mimi Muller. Number 38, NC Jammer. Number 5'6", Serenader. Number 96, All of You Die. Number 98, Blair Bitch. Number 131, Muerta. Number 401, Audimus Prime. Number 626, Remy Ruckus. And number 835, Skarin Yeager. That is the roster for your Doomsday Valkyries. Your bench coaches tonight for the Runaway Brides, Troy McClure and Nikki Badaz. Your bench coaches for the Doomsday Valkyries, and Fidel Castro and Shirley Temple of Doom. All right, Derby fans, whistle has blown. We are ready to take the track for this evening's first jam of this evening's first bout. Up to the jammer line for the Runaway Brides, Cherry Kiss. For the Doomsday Valkyries, Hugs and Stitches. Right away, both jammers up into the pack. Hugs and Stitches bumped off to the infield. Now Cherry Kiss along the inside, and Cherry Kiss, lead jammer for the Brides. Hugs and Stitches tried to get by Lightning the Queen along the outside, now bumped to the infield by the defenders from the Brides. However, Hugs and Stitches able to get by. We'll tell you more on why in a moment. Along the inside, however, you see Cherry Kiss. Cherry Kiss at that point calls off the jam. It's 3 points on the board for the Brides to open the scoring. And a little mention on that, the jammer who gets out first is called the lead jammer. They have the ability to stop the action and basically freeze the scoring there. Also, those front blockers had to let Hugs and Stitches go because blockers can only block within a certain distance of the pack. Your jammers here are Muerta for the Doomsday Valkyries. And that is going to be Holly Hood for the Runaway Brides. And Holly Hood, skating backwards to clear the pack, is your lead jammer for the Runaway Brides here in this second jam.
Muerta still in the pack as Holly Hood comes up for that first scoring pass. Because Muerta hasn't exited the pack, she will also be a point that Holly Hood can pick up. And the jam is called off. Let's see how many points Holly Hood was able to get. 4 points for the Runaway Brides. That's Cherry Kiss to the jammer line for the Runaway Brides and NC Jammer for the Doomsday Valkyries.
NC Jammer up to the rail side, trying to find an opening. Cherry Kiss dancing in and out. Already, of course, Cherry Kiss's second jam. I don't need to tell you that. Cherry Kiss down to the inside, gets bumped and takes a spill. And there goes NC along the inside. And with a little bit of help from Hugs and Stitches, NC Jammer clears the pack. Cherry Kiss still kind of mired in the middle, now looking for an opening. You'll see number 13, Hugs and Stitches, who just blocked Cherry Kiss, is wearing a stripe on her helmet. And that skater is called the pivot. They're kind of the key person of the defense. They're the captain of the defense, so to speak, as you see Lightning the Queen doing that job admirably well. Cherry Kiss now out of the pack. NC Jammer had finished off a whole scoring pass. We'll go ahead and put a cap on the welcome to Derby whatnot of it, as I'm sure everybody else is like, we get it, let us watch. Stop talking, you like the sound of your own voice. I hear it all the time from Freya. 7-3 right now, Runaway Brides. Doomsday Valkyries are on the board here after the third jam. Jamming for, we have a challenge flag. That is an early challenge flag. Well then, the Doomsday Valkyries are challenging a ruling there, and the Eye in the Sky, who is Freya Hugs, is being called down. So we are going to ascertain that it is a points challenge. And we will see how that develops. So, a challenge where, just like it does in any other sport, you're going to see everybody get together and discuss it here, and a ruling will be issued. And I'll step aside for a very early breather. This is 7-3 Runaway Brides in the very early going.
During this challenge time, I want to tell you guys more about our regulators. Our regulators are always recruiting. If you're interested in being part of roller derby, but hitting people isn't just your thing, our regulators are always looking for dedicated and eager minds to learn our rule set, help keep our skaters on the track safe. The regulators are an open gender team, and they are various levels of officiating that go on during roller derby bouts. Come be a part of the action and help our league grow. Ask any skater or ref how you can get involved today.
We'd like to let you know about one of our longtime league sponsors, Siphon Draw Apothecary. Siphon Draw Apothecary offers an all-natural, handcrafted, non-toxic skincare line based on all sorts of wonderful smelling botanical items that are sourced from out that away in the Superstition Mountains where Siphon Draw is located. They also supplied us with hand sanitizer back when everybody needed gallons of that around, and so that was super great of them, and they, as always, remain one of our longtime sponsors. Siphon Draw products work well and smell well, and I always loved that I can personally endorse things like Siphon Draw and Lost Dutchman Tattoo and things like that because they're good businesses to use, and Siphon Draw stuff actually works and smells great. Look them up on Facebook at Siphon Draw Apothecary, or visit them in person in the historic Goldfield Ghost Town off of Highway 88. After discussion, that is an unsuccessful points challenge. So point stand is called. We remain at 7-3 in the very early going. And the Doomsday Valkyries have used their first half challenge. They'll get another to use in the second half.
All right, and it looks like we're ready to get back to the action here. All right, jamming for the Doomsday Valkyries, that's going to be number 96, All of You Die. And jamming for the Runaway Brides, that's number 192, Baby.
Penalties assessed to 2 of the blockers for the Valkyries in the last jam, so there is a serious pack advantage for the Brides here. Only 2 defenders out there for the Valkyries. And right now, that's Mimi Mahler with Milani Mangler at the front of the pack.
Mimi Mahler can be multiple people if she really needs to be.
Yes,
I know
also
Mimi's
true.
really hard to get around, even if
However,
it's
there.
just her.
And
But
there
it
goes
looks like Baby
Milani.
was able to get out first, while Olive is still in the pack.
You have to understand that Volt is looking at her jersey, and I'm looking at the roster, so it looks like we are going with Baby now. Baby's been away from skating for a bit, so it's been a minute. Bumped along to the inside goes Baby with that 2 wall of defenders for the Valkyries. Meanwhile, All of You Die is still trying to get through that back wall at the back of the pack. Novocaine and Annihilate making that difficult, as they do tend to do for jammers on a regular basis. And with just 2 seconds left on the jam clock, Baby calls it off. 4 points for the Runaway Brides during that very long jam. A defensive effort from both teams. We've got Hugs and Stitches for the Doomsday Valkyries.
And that is Cherry Kiss once again jamming for the Runaway Brides.
Stitches quickly to the inside and takes a hard hit. I saw just a spin of pigtails down around that way. Believe that was Lightning the Queen, but I am not sure. I did not get the license plate of that bus. Here comes Stitches now, trying to follow Cherry Kiss, and Cherry's able to find an opening, and that door closes again. But Lightning not able to chase down Stitches, and Stitches out as well. Inbound is Cherry Kiss. Both teams shouting out instructions so loud that it's lucky that I have a microphone. Cherry Kiss along the inside to pick up the 4 points and call it off.
Jamming for the Doomsday Valkyries, that's number 131, Muerta. And Slaughtermelon for the Runaway Brides.
Score right now 15-3, Runaway Brides in front. Jam gets underway. It looks like 1 Valkyries blocker is in the penalty box, and the Brides are at full strength. Pack goes into the corner, a tumble, a couple of Brides blockers down at the back, and now Muerta out the front of the pack.
Muerta was able to get out in the front because she had pushed that blocker, Novocaine, out of play. If you are 20 feet in front of the pack, you can no longer engage with the jammer. You're out of play, and you have to let that jammer go.
Yeah. Hence there we go, gonna call it off. Muerta fighting through to get as many points as possible. Slaughtermelon had shaken loose and was coming in at the back end of the pack. We'll check on that score. Valkyries get all 4 of the points on that scoring pass, so 15-7 with 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. We
got a couple penalties called, so it looks like there's going to be a possible power jam for the Runaway Brides. Let's take a look.
It does appear that way, at least at the moment.
Yeah, it appears like Muerta picked up a penalty in that last jam, so we are going to have
absolutely.
Cherry Kiss jamming for a Runaway Brides power jam.
That's right, it's a power jam for the Brides. Our first power jam of the bout. Cherry Kiss is fighting to get through and is already through.
Cherry Kiss coming up for that first scoring pass, and Cherry would get those points from the blockers as well as the point from the jammer that is sitting a penalty. That is called a ghost point. That's a free point for you when you get past that first opposing skater for the skater that's sitting a penalty.
Now the pack breaks free, and the Valkyries are trying to, Hugs and Stitches out of play. Out of play does mean that you can still remain a physical obstruction, however, and Stitches definitely tried to do everything legally possible to obstruct Cherry Kiss a little bit on that pass. There's 10 seconds left on the Power Jam clock. Stitches again slides for the block. Cherry Kiss able to dodge it. And the jam clock expires. It'll be a productive Power Jam for the Runaway Brides. And we're going to have an official timeout. It's 15 big points on the board for the Runaway Brides. They've doubled their score here in the early going. Runaway Brides 30, Doomsday Valkyries 7, and we'll step aside momentarily for an official timeout.
Do you guys love watching roller derby but can't make it to a bout in person? No problem. We've got a live stream for you to watch from home. Visit our Twitch channel or Facebook page to learn more. And I want to give a shout out to all of our subscribers and fans watching on the live stream right now. Thank you so much for supporting roller derby from home.
Also, every follow that the league gets on Twitch, I mean, even if you fully intend to be at every bout, I have Twitch for one reason, and it's to follow the Derby Dames. So sorry, not to suddenly drop out of conversation, but Skater came up to ask High Voltage a question. Oh, at any rate, on Twitch, every follow that the league obtains helps the league out, and you can also subscribe to the Derby Dames. A subscription only costs like $5.95 a month. My wife subscribes to several different streams of that ilk, and every bit of that, the league gets to keep a large percentage of that. Now jamming for the Doomsday Valkyries is All of You Die, and the jammer for the Runaway Brides is Ash Smash'em. And everybody's taking a tumble. There's more skaters down than up. And then Ash Smash'em just ran solidly into Mimi Mahler.
All of You Die able to sneak out past Tequila on the high and become lead jammer. While Ash Smash'em is still in the pack.
Mimi Mahler is the captain of the Doomsday Valkyries and is one of their primary defenders, I would say. And obviously, just demonstrating there with a block on Ash Smash'em with a full head of steam and winning the block handily. Ash Smash'em, no unstout person on skates. Now look at this again with the defensive grind. There's Ash Mimi Mahler is grinding at the front of the pack. Ash trying to get through, and then Mimi gives just a little boop with the hip and knocks her onto the infield. So as if to, punctuate what I was saying with the defense.
That is an exhausting jam right there to be face to face with Mimi Mahler.
It's 3 hard-earned points for the Valkyries. Up to the jammer line right now for the Valkyries, number 38, NC Jammer.
And that's number 19, the Kitchuation for the Runaway Brides. Looks like the Doomsday Valkyries were actually able to pick up 4 points in that last jam, bringing the score to 30 Runaway Brides, 11 Doomsday Valkyries.
All right, now the jam underway. Kitch along the inside. I see Kitch bump to the inside. NC trying to tap dance around their own pivot along the inside. NC up to the outside, windmilling, trying to stay clear, and that's Owl going to pin NC to the rail. A bunch of skaters down again. I think that's going to be a recurring theme this evening. And there goes Kitch out the front of the pack. Kitch is your lead jammer for the Runaway Brides. NC Jammer now trying to get clear, crouched down behind Hugs and Stitches, trying to find an opening, but gets bumped wide. Stitches now trying to find an opening, and then there goes NC shaking through. Kind of a self-whip, pulling herself along using Hugs and Stitches. Kitch now trying to back in and calls the jam off.
I believe Kitch was able to pick up all 4 blocker points. Let's see what the refs say. Yeah, Kitch was able to pick up all 4 blocker points. That's a fun fact for you. You get a point for everyone you pass, even if you don't make it out of that pack. If you've already passed that skater, you've got that point.
That's Muerta at the jammer line for the Valkyries and Cherry Kiss for the Brides. Both tried the high side first and are now kind of scouting up and down the defensive wall looking for an opening. Muerta trying to tip to at the very point of the turn. Cherry Kiss blocked hard into the rail, took a second to recover. Muerta, look at that. Muerta shoots along the inside and finds a tiny opening.
Jaeger really laying some hard hits on Cherry there. As Muerta comes up for a scoring pass. And it looks like we may have had a panty pass.
We did indeed. So the Jammer can take their star cover off and pass it to that pivot wearing the stripe. That's the other reason the pivot wears that. And you saw Lightning McQueen taking over as Jammer and forcing the call off by Muerta. That's basically how you can pass through an impenetrable wall, is just hand that star cover right through. 3 points for the Doomsday Valkyries. Jamming for the Valkyries for the first time this evening. Number 17, bitch, please.
Once again to the jammer line for the Runaway Brides. That's 6-2-3 Holly Hood. And Hood gets out right in turn one, sneaking by on the low, as Bitch is head-to-head with Alanile Hachia in the front of the pack.
Al at the front of the pack now. There goes NC clearing some space.
Valkyries running to the front, trying to protect their points. Hollywood right now trying to protect the Runaway Brides lead by running down the clock and strategically using the time left in the jam. Once again, Cherry Kiss jamming for the Runaway Brides, and that is 007 Clutch Cannon for the Doomsday Valkyries.
I feel like the Runaway Brides have used Cherry Kiss in every other jam, whereas the Valkyries have pretty much, I think I've jammed for the Valkyries already. A whole lot of switching, going up and down, and now we've got another power jam. It's another power jam for the Runaway Brides. Cherry Kiss now all alone up there somewhere-ish close to the jammer line. Full pack otherwise, it would appear. No, Novocaine tumbling down off the track now. Not tumbling. That was the most graceful tumble ever if it was. Now the power jam underway, so 60 seconds for the Runaway Brides to go crazy here.
Strong offense by the Runaway Brides right off the whistle there, able to break up that wall. But the Doomsday Valkyries wall is really trying to reform to hold that jammer. Big hit there by Al.
Huge collision back there. It was Lightning McQueen, Mimi Mahler, and Cherry Kiss. And I think Cherry got the worst of it, but everybody kind of came away from that. Finally, Cherry Kiss able to get clear. That was an excellent defensive effort by the Doomsday Valkyries to keep the jammer from getting out. That's usually little more than a formality in a power jam. Cherry now up to the pack. Now the Brides, though. The Brides able to set their power O, as one would say. Able to set up a nice path for Cherry Kiss to weave her way through. And now Cherry trying for a second scoring pass.
NC Jammer being held in the back there as a point for Cherry. By the Brides holding NC in the back, they can also control the pack speed and pack definition. So those Valkyrie skaters in the front don't want to get too far out, or else they'd be out of that engagement zone.
We're going to have a stoppage and play. Here comes some Puerto Rican guy up onto the track. Score right now, 47-14, Runaway Brides in front. It was a 9-point power jam for the Runaway Brides. I believe that we would call that a push when it comes to a power jam. I'd say holding a team to 5 is a victory, and, 9-10 is okay. Because it could be a lot worse. You saw the Brides snap off a 15-point power jam rather easily earlier on. It's a team timeout for the Runaway Brides, and I'm going to be quiet for a moment.
During this timeout, I want to tell you all about our Arizona Derby Dames raffle. There are many awesome raffle prizes tonight at our raffle prize table. If you haven't visited our raffle table, come on over. There's some really great stuff there today. There's even a coffee maker, and we have a special Dirty Carry themed bombshell movie night as well. You'll see our league members coming around with raffle tickets for you to purchase. For our raffle prizes, tickets are $1 per ticket or 6 for $5. We also have a 50-50 cash raffle that benefits our minor assaults.
Back to the action we go. The Doomsday Valkyries team timeout draws to a close. At the jammer line for the Valkyries is NC Jammer. And jamming for the Brides is going to be Skid Vicious. A lot of action there, and quickly they're around the front of the pack. There goes NC Jammer. Big collision. Somebody went up right on their back doing the old tortoise. NC Jammer now coming around on a scoring attempt for the Valkyries. And in the meantime, your Bride's Jammer still not out. In fact, I'm having trouble tracking a star, not to give it away, but where am I at? Everybody's just kind of skating together. I've got one person wearing a star, and now getting out the front of the pack, there goes Skid to put the star back on. Clofton Peak Rudge can barely see anyway, and then when you all start taking your stars off, that's just rude. NC Jammer finishing off the scoring pass and calls it off.
Strong jam there from NC. Let's see how many points. Looks like 4 points for NC Jammer there. That brings our score to 47 Brides, 18 Valkyries. We're going to have a timeout, a Runaway Brides timeout.
Yeah, this will be a Runaway Brides timeout. To correct earlier, that was a Valkyries timeout previously. This one is a Brides timeout, so both teams have one remaining in the first half. We're sitting at 45 seconds to go here in the first quarter, and once again, as Volti just mentioned, 47-18, Brides in front at the moment. We would love to tell you about yet another one of our longtime sponsors, Copper Star Coffee. It's a locally owned coffee shop and cafe providing hand-blended drinks and award-winning baked goods. Their bagels are fantastic. I've had one or more, possibly. Don't tell my dietitian. However, the coffee is fantastic, wonderful array of drinks, and a wonderful little vintage gas station. It is on 7th Avenue, just north of Indian School, corner of 7th Avenue and Heatherbray. And be sure to join them all morning long for delicious coffee, tea, muffins, and incredible homemade bagels, as mentioned.
I love a Copper Star bagel. One of my favorite snacks. All right, Hugs and Stitches jamming. And I don't see another jammer up there.
And this is going to be a Doomsday Valkyries power jam. The Doomsday Valkyries now have their first power jam of the bout. Hugs and Stitches out there with an otherwise full pack. Looks like that's why the Brides called timeout, was to talk defensive strategy here. So far, up to the task. Stitches is just going to try to go right up Main Street and just gets ejected to the infield. Now up to the high side, looking for an opening along the rail. Trying to follow along a blocker and gets the worst of it along to the infield.
Runaway Brides look like they're trying to keep that pack fast. That's going to make Stitches work hard, have to travel further and go faster to get out of the pack.
We're
really strong offensive wall from the Valkyries, but a really strong defensive Brides wall as well.
Yeah, we're 22 seconds left in the power jam. 20 seconds left in the power jam. Hugs and Stitches still trying to get out and obviously can't score any points until she's been out once. Runaway Brides spent that timeout well as we go under 10 minutes and we reach the point at which it would be academic. And Stitches wouldn't be able to get around and takes a big spill along the inside. Just for emphasis, one of the blockers for the Runaway Brides. And that's going to do it. So that is a defensive victory for the Runaway Brides. Will somebody please tell Al Annihilate good job? My goodness. That was absolutely a wonderful defensive effort keyed by the usual defensive cohorts. Al Annihilate et al.
Who's here tonight supporting the Runaway Brides? Let me hear ya. And who's here tonight celebrating the Doomsday Valkyries?
All right, looks like we've reached the quarter break. We will be back with you after a 5-minute intermission to resume the action. Right now, 47-18, Runaway Brides in front. an early lead, but not one, as anybody who watched the playoff bout between the Valkyries and the Brides knows, that score can swing. For the first jam of the second quarter, it's going to be Bitch Please for the Valkyries.
And that is Lightning the Queen for the Runaway Brides. That's the Runaway Brides captain.
There goes twirling along the inside, trying to stay on the track. That was Lightning the Queen trying to get clear. And there goes Bitch Please racing right through the pack as well. Lightning was trying to stay and not pop back on the track, but her blockers were successful. And Lightning's still not out now as the back. Now Lightning trying to hip shimmy and get around Hugs and Stitches and is able to get those blockers out of play.
Little fancy footwork there by Lightning to get out in the turn. Bitch gonna pick up all those points before calling it off. Let's see. Calling it off just in the nick of time there. I don't think Lightning was able to pick up any points, though. Let's see.
Lightning was not. I have seen the signal from that jam referee reported to the scoreboard. And we have the Valkyries with a 1 point there at the back of the pack. Setting up the jam now, that's All of You Die for the Valkyries.
And 192, Baby jamming again for the Runaway Brides. Both jammers struggling in turn one there. Baby able to get out on the low past Muerta, coming around for that scoring pass as your lead jammer.
Olive now trying to shake clear and is able to weave past Novocaine. Kind of got Novocaine a little, and with maybe a little bit of a shoulder fake there, and got past Nova.
Strong block there on the low by Muerta. And it looks like Baby is not able to get all those points. Yep. Let's see what the refs say.
Lead jammer has to be on the track to call it off. You cannot have a skate on the infield. It's 2 points for the Brides there, 49-19. Brides in front. NC Jammer is your jammer for the Valkyries.
And that is Cherry Kiss for the Runaway Brides.
NC tries to sneak through along the rail and runs squarely into the blocker there. That was Lightning delivering a heck of a block on NC there along the front straightaway. Meanwhile, lead jammer Cherry Kiss for the Brides. Cherry out again. Here comes NC Jammer out of the pack as well, half a track behind. There goes Cherry up to the high side, and then Cherry is going to fight through, finish the scoring pass, and call it off. Looks like 4 points again for the Runaway Brides, and now it would appear that setting up at the moment, I want to wait before I confirm. Let's see. Yes, indeed. It looks like we're going to have a power jam for the Doomsday Valkyries once again. Doomsday Valkyries now have a chance to go on the offense. Otherwise a full pack. Yes, indeed. Otherwise a full pack, and it's Muerta at the jammer line for the Valkyries this time. Valkyries last time were not able to get out. This time Muerta's trying to get that front wall pushed out of play. They're going to try to hold her and kind of just, they are able to. They're able to kind of hold her up until the pack comes back to them and puts the blockers back in play.
Muerta struggling there against Lightning the Queen and Alan, I'll hate ya, but able to get out with 31 seconds left in the jam. That's still quite a lot of time to pick up a few points. Let's see what she can make happen.
You can see now the pace of play kind of grinds to a stop. Now Muerta tries to get through. You see those two, the blockers in the back for the Brides kind of sprung free and then run to the front of the pack to also block there as well.
Little tumble there. Muerta gets right back up, trying to collect as many points as she can in that last few seconds of the jam.
Muerta hung up there at the back of the pack by Lightning the Queen defensively to close things out in that power jam. And it's a 3-point power jam for the Doomsday Valkyries. Muerta puts 3 points up on the board.
That is number 19, the Kituation jamming for the Runaway Brides.
Matched up against number 17, that's Bitch Please. These are two of our sub skaters. Our home teams will occasionally take on substitute skaters from either a pool of available subs or other teams, as is the case here with both Kitsch and Bitch. Haha. Both of them together are from the substitute skater pool, and it helps to fill out our rosters and ensure a nice even bout with full teams for both sides. That's Kitchuation fighting through the pack, and the Kitchenator is your lead jammer for the Runaway Brides. Now weaving through, trying to find an opening. Bitch Please at the back of the pack. Baby just got blasted by Remy Ruckus at the back of the pack. Big, huge collision back there. I heard Hugs and Stitches hit the deck hard. Bitch Please fights through the pack. 13 seconds left in this jam.
Kitsch is trying to pick up all those points. Calls the jam off.
Four points there for Kitsch, so Kitsch was able to get all 4 points on that scoring pass.
Olive, You Die, and Cherry Kiss starting wave. Oh, nope. Olive starting at a medium distance from the jammer line. Olive, You Die, and Cherry Kiss both jamming once again.
Both jammers quickly up to the pack that time. Both trying to find an opening, neither successful. So that was one approach to it. Cherry Kiss to the inside, taking a block, blasting around. Wow. Quickly, there went All of You Die racing around Skaren Jaeger. And now there goes Cherry Kiss, basically just trying to push those Valkyries blockers out of play, but the pack is going to catch up to him and keep the Valkyries blockers in play instead. Meanwhile, racing around now, they're going to wall up and play a 5-wall at the back of the pack there and try to keep Olive from getting through. And in the meantime, there goes Cherry, and here goes Olive.
Olive calling that jam off before Cherry can get around to score any points.
Hypothetically, All of You Die, if Olive had been able to catch Cherry Kiss, Olive would have gotten that point, but you try to catch Cherry Kiss. I dare you.
Looks like we're going to have an official timeout. During this timeout, I want to announce one of our raffle winners. If you bought a blue raffle ticket, get your blue raffle tickets out. If your blue raffle ticket is number 591329, make some noise. You are a winner. That is 591329. If your raffle ticket is 591329, you're a winner. Head on over to the raffle table in the corner of the warehouse and claim your prize. That's you. Awesome. Congratulations. Head on back to the raffle table and you can claim your prize. I also want to tell you about another longtime league sponsor, Sidewalk Surfer. Sidewalk Surfer has a large selection of roller skates and skate accessories. They build custom skates and service all brands of skates. They're open 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday and 10 to 6 on Sundays, and they're located at 2602 North Scottsdale Road in Scottsdale. Check out Sidewalk Surfer. I also want to make a couple shout outs to our live stream viewers. We got a few new followers from the live stream. Captain Kenway, Town to Clown, And damn it, Nance, thank you everybody for your support on Twitch. We love having you guys.
Don't forget, if you're following along on Twitch, that the Disco Skate, hashtag Disco Skate. I just literally, the sentence is, don't forget that the Disco Skate, period. There's no further thought required because once you get to Disco Skate. Don't forget that any old time is a good time to visit the Arizona Derby Dames merch booth. You can get your favorite league and team merchandise. We've got brand new t-shirt designs from your favorite teams. Check out our discounted merch. And of course, you can also get souvenir cups for the night there as well. I hear that the souvenir cup liquid dispenser is working. Come grab some keychains, some tote bags, patches, more. Watch out for the new merch cart. Our goods might be coming to you tonight. All right. Looks like we had a challenge there from the Runaway Brides. Runaway Brides were unsuccessful in that challenge. It appears that the penalty that was assessed to them was upheld. So that skater is in the penalty box right at this time. Hugs and Stitches, number 13, is at the jammer line for the Doomsday Valkyries.
And we've got number 55, Skid Vicious for the Runaway Brides. Skid Vicious running through those two Valkyrie blockers. Stitch is able to get out on the low with some offensive assistance by Remy Ruckus. Both jammers coming around quickly, trying to score some points. Skid Vicious picking up a point and calling it off. Let's see if NC was able to get any points. 4 points for Skid Vicious there.
And no points for Stitches. I did like how Stitches came skidding in at the end and then turned around and flashed 2 points to the eye in the sky. And I'm like, that Stitches. That's not your job. Unfortunately,
it was pretty close.
Meryl Streak disagreed and said no fingers instead of 2 fingers. And Meryl Streak is, as I've said before, the authority here. Your jammer for the Brides is Cherry Kiss, and Cherry Kiss is already out.
Muerta out, too, at the apex.
So
both
Muerta,
jammers coming around fast.
Muerta out clear as well. No worries, Volt. Up to the front now. There goes a wall of Valkyries defenders, and Cherry Kiss, look at that. Cherry Kiss is going to do the full scorpion all the way back over. Reverse somersault off the track while calling off jam. That's legal because, you know, as long as you're established on the track, even if you're established by the base of your spine, then you can call the jam off, and Cherry does and gets 1 point for it.
That's NC Jammer, number 38, jamming for the Doomsday Valkyries, and Hollyhood for the Runaway Brides. Ooh, some jammer-on-jammer defense there in turn 1, and NC's able to get out in the second straightaway.
NC out, Hollyhood out as well. There's a big collision at the back of the pack, and just now catching up is Slaughtermelon, now trying to get back reunited with her teammates. NC Jammer along the inside, ups to the high side, tries to get just in front of a couple skaters if possible. And Slaughtermelon hits the deck again, and that was another solid thud. I felt that up here, so Slaughtermelon getting the worst of it on that jam for sure. Checking on the score. And there we are. After consultation, 3 points for the Valkyries. 62-29 with the Brides in front. It's going to be All of You Die for the Valkyries once again.
Olive and Cherry both jamming again. They've gone head-to-head quite a few times tonight. Lightning the Queen taking All of You Die to the infield in turn one. Both jammers still not out yet.
And there's Olive racing along the outside, kind of using the rail to sort of like the corner of the end zone for a wide receiver. Your defenders can't go where you also can't go. So Olive shaking through, and Olive is your lead jammer. Here comes Cherry Kiss really putting the pedal down. Olive catches up to the pack, got that point at the back of the pack for sure, and checking to see, I don't see any penalty points. We'll check on the official score from the infield. It's going to be 2 points for the Valkyries, 2 hard-fought points.
Ooh, and it looks like there was a jammer penalty assessed on Cherry Kiss. So we're going to have a power jam for the Doomsday Valkyries.
In a moment.
After this official timeout.
Yeah, I saw Cherry Kiss actually racing back towards the pack with the star on. So I think probably trying to beat the clock and run back out there to jam. But the regulators are going to put a stop to any of that tomfoolery. Also Dan foolery, because Dan can't get away with it either. Dan knows what he did. Official timeout. Your score right now, Runaway Bride 62, Doomsday Valkyries doubled up 31.
A lot of our skaters tonight are former minor assaults who graduated from our youth program and have joined the adult league. I want to shout out all of our minor assaults, current and former tonight. If you are between the ages of 10 and 17 and love to skate, our minor assaults are looking for new skaters to join the team. Our coaches not only teach technique and knowledge of the sport, but they also help build leadership, teamwork, and problem-solving skills. Ask any Arizona Derby Dame how to get involved today.
You can really tell that our minor assaults is a quality program, in my humble opinion, because we have multiple successions of siblings that come through. And I feel like if big sibling didn't like it, little sibling wouldn't join too. So I feel like that's proof pudding. Now there we go. Jammer right away. That's Hugs and Stitches trying to play a little jammer defense on Baby. Stitches now trying to find an opening, but just kind of decided to start that jam by just being a traffic cone.
Looks like that's Alanile Hacha on the high, trying to play some offense against Mimi. And she does. Baby gets out right in turn 4.
Baby working her way around to the pack. Getting out there is Stitches now finally clearing the pack. And Baby catching up to the pack.
Some good defense there played by Remy Ruckus. Baby able to get out, biding her time before calling off the jam.
Jam comes to a close. 4 more points for the Brides. Bride 66, Valkyries 31, and it's going to be at this time. Verifying to see, yes indeed, we're going to have another power jam for the Runaway Brides. Lightning the Queen up to the jammer line for the Brides. No, it is not going to be a power jam. I take it back. Valkyries fans happy, Brides fans sad. NC Jammer to the jammer line to accompany Lightning the Queen, and they're both going to head down to the inside. Lightning tiptoes along the coping, somehow stayed in bounds there, and NC takes a block to the infield, now going to try to find an opening of her own.
All of You Die playing some offense there.
Sorry, I just started to say that was a heck of a block, but I saw the pivot there for the Brides go down and come right back up. That was quite a move.
Lightning communicating what she wants from her offense. Able to pick up those points before calling the jam off.
That is how you control the pace of play, and that is how you stop a run from forming, is by hacking out those 4-point jams just like that. It's 4 more points for the Brides. Brides' pace of scoring has slowed down. Of course, that was helped massively by a couple of power jams there in the first quarter. Otherwise, though, outside of those power jams, it's been pretty much a defensive struggle, about like we thought it would be, I would believe. That's going to be Muerta this time for the Valkyries. Hollyhood for the Brides. Hollyhood just collides with, I'm not sure who that was. Lots of skaters going down like bowling pins. Hollyhood spins through backwards and skates backwards for a little extra affect, and is your lead jammer for the Brides.
Muerta caught behind Al, I'll hate you there. Muerta is one of our former minor assaults, and Al is one of our minor assaults coaches. So that's some tough love right there.
Hollywood finishing off a scoring pass. Valkyrie still trying to spring Muerta loose. Al is going to take out Novocaine too. Al just knocked Novocaine almost to the back straightaway as part of a block. But yeah, you get in Al's way, that's what happens. Even if you're a teammate, sorry. That's going to do it, and the jam is going to come to a close with Muerta coming around to enter the front straightaway.
Our score right now is 70 points for the Runaway Brides, 31 for the Doomsday Valkyries. 77 for the Runaway Brides from those points from that last jam.
This will be NC Jammer up there for the Doomsday Valkyries, and your jammer for the Runaway Brides is hidden. Is Lightning McQueen.
Big hit there by Lightning on Bitch Please. Letting Lightning get out in that first straightaway and become your lead jammer before NC even has time to make a move.
Now NC up to the high side. Along the inside, finding an easy opening. There goes Lightning right along the inside of the track. And he'll be coming around for another scoring pass. Big collision, one Bride's blocker down. They're still trying to spring NC Jammer.
Cherry Kiss and Ash Smash'em were doing a good job opening up a hole for Lightning, and now they're both blocking NC Jammer in the turn.
Lightning the Queen gets blocked, kind of gets a little hip check going through there, but gets spun off to the infield, has to get up, reestablish behind the pack. And that'll do it. That jam clock expires as well. Checking on the score from the infield. Just as I had said, the Runaway Brides scoring output had slowed down. All of a sudden, it's picked up pace again. Brides are going to tack on another 10 points there. That's 17 points and 2 jams for the Brides. So they'll teach me to open my mouth. That's what I know about Fantasy Derby. Up to the jammer line now. As we have no time left on the quarter clock, we've got one jam left, and it's going to be a power jam for the Doomsday Valkyries. Oh, everybody's moving real quick now. Kitch pulled down from the jammer line. We got people going up and down. Here comes NC Jammer. Oh, my gosh, the jam hasn't even started yet, and I'm using this voice. All of you die is at the jammer line. Novocaine comes down, and finally, I think we're underway. So, 55 seconds until halftime, guaranteed.
Doomsday Valkyries trying to hold Baby in the back to control the pace of the pack and the pack definition. Right now, Olive is going to want to try to push those blockers out of play, but that's a very difficult task when it's Al and Hood. NC going up to assist Olive. Olive, you die, getting out. Ooh, taken to the infield by Holly Hood. Olive has to reset behind the skater who hit her out.
Block from Hollywood. That's a season-ending awards candidate. We're in the first half of the first bout. My goodness. Absolutely just extended her spine to get in front of Olive and clip Olive enough to knock her off stride. I am still talking about that block, and it happened 45 seconds ago. That was a derby block, my friends.
A defensive win there for the Runaway Brides. No points in that power jam for the Valkyries.
Absolutely, and that's a way to send it into halftime. It'll be 87-31 Runaway Brides as we step aside for our halftime break. 15 minutes for you to stretch your legs, get in line for the bathroom, check out some food from the Bonsai Boys or the Italian Ice food cart outside. We'll be right back.
Getting hungry? Go visit our food truck of the night, Bonsai Boys. They're a gourmet Asian fusion food truck serving up some of the most delicious handcrafted
Derby fans, we got about 90 seconds to go until the end of the half. We wanted to make a very important announcement. One of our skaters on the Runaway Brides, number 487, Tequila. Tequila. It's Tequila's birthday, everybody, and we wanted to share that fantastic news with everybody. I got in trouble last time talking about people's babies, but Pond is the best dog, and I don't care, and I will fight you. I cut Pond's nails every month. I do, literally. I actually knew Tequila before she was called Tequila via Pond, and that's a true story. I know everybody loves Pond. Everybody that comes in contact with Pond loves Pond. Are you kidding me?
Pond is Tequila's beautiful dog.
Yes, he is a
if you were curious.
Humongous, gorgeous greyhound, and he has the shortest wrinkled up nose. And so ergo, I don't ever call him Pond. I only ever call him Snoot. And so I knew him as Snoot, and I knew Tequila by her people name before I knew them as Tequila and Pond.
All right, as we get back to the action and people trickle on in, I just want to give one more chance to this raffle ticket owner. If your raffle ticket is 591344, once again, if your blue raffle ticket is 591344, you are a winner. Wow, and it looks like we did have a winner for that raffle ticket. It was our very own Sandra Slay O'Connor.
All right, looks like we're ready to get underway here in the second half. 87-31, Brides in front. Going to have all of you die at the jammer line for the Doomsday Valkyries.
And Cherry Kiss, number 4, for the Runaway Brides.
Cherry able to dodge a block there for Mimi Mahler along the inside.
All of you die, making it out in turn 2 past Ash Smash'em. Both jammers coming around fast, trying to get some points. Cherry Kiss picking up a point or 2 and calling it off. Let's see. 3 points for the Runaway Brides, bringing the Runaway Brides to 90. Valkyries at 31.
That'll be NC Jammer on the jammer line for the Valkyries. And it's Holly Hood for the Runaway Brides. NC is fighting Luckman on the outside. There goes Holly Hood.
Holly Hood playing some defense there. NC almost falls back into the pack, but is able to get out in the straightaway and chasing down Holly Hood.
NC Jammer is going to keep up the pace here. Holly Hood is trying to catch up to the pack. The pack is trying to stay away. Finally, Al Annihilator clears off the pack. Is able to hold back one blocker so Holly Hood can catch up. Whole lot of fast-paced action there. More of the linear kind of around the track and less of the blocking.
Cherry Kiss jamming once again for the Runaway Brides. And that is 007 Clutch Cannon for the Doomsday Valkyries. Both jammers coming in hot. Looks like Clutch is able to get out first in turn 1. Cherry Kiss stuck behind Mimi Mahler, able to juke around though. And Cherry Kiss is coming for Clutch.
Cherry Kiss just able to duck around the block there. Mimi Mahler went to kind of launch into it. Cherry Kiss able to get out. So now Clutch up to the pack. Here comes Cherry Kiss blasting in late. Cherry Kiss just coming straight into the pack and trying to get any points that she can at the back end of that.
All right, Cherry Kiss able to pick up 2 points there at the end.
And 3 points for the Valkyries as well. A net swing of 1 for the Valkyries.
And it looks like Clutch Cannon did pick up a penalty in that last jam. So it's a power jam for the Runaway Brides.
That's going to be Baby out there. Baby up to the front of the pack, and those blockers out of play, so Baby shaking on through. So, oh my goodness. I'm never going to say that again. That's one to avoid.
Big tumble there in the turn as Baby's coming up for that scoring pass.
Of course, last season, Baby served as the bench coach for the Brides all year, alongside Troy McClure.
Valkyries wall in the front there. Baby coming up to Mimi and NC. Alan Eilich trying to play some offense, but Mimi takes Baby to the infield.
Checking on the score again from the infield there. Checking on that score from the infield. Once again, a partial scoring pass, so kind of a discussion going on about the total number of points. It ends up being a 9-point power jam for the Runaway Brides.
Cherry Kiss jamming once again for the Runaway Brides, and that is Hugs and Stitches doing some fancy footwork there to get around Cherry's defense at the beginning.
And all for naught, Hugs and Stitches gets through first, and then it just ends up kind of being your regular old jammer race now as they break out of the pack.
Two very impressive jammers and both former minor assault skaters.
Cherry Kiss checking up, looking back over her shoulder and calling it off. Waiting to set up here for the next jam, and so far it looks, wow, there will be a timeout, team timeout. Doomsday Valkyries are going to call timeout, so we'll take a break in the action here. 103-34, the Runaway Brides in front. Don't forget about those raffle tickets. You'll see them coming around with the raffle tickets for sale. You've got your raffle tickets for the cash raffle. Those are $5 a piece, or 3 for $10. And at the end of the evening, half of that pot goes to the winner and half of that pot goes to the minor assaults. We also have our prize giveaway raffle tickets, and those, of course, are $1 each or 6 for $5. And, of course, as you've already heard, we give away those prizes every quarter break.
During this timeout, I want to tell you about one of our league sponsors, and that is Lost Dutchman Tattoo. They are a tattoo shop specializing in various styles, from realism to traditional. You can also customize your own tattoo. Walk-ins are accepted. Lost Dutchman Tattoo is located at 4121 North 19th Ave, east side of 19th Ave, north of Indian School Road. Thank you, Lost Dutchman Tattoo. And it looks like Cherry Kiss did pick up a penalty in that last jam, so NC Jammer is going to be all by herself on that jammer line, doing a power jam for the Doomsday Valkyries.
Valkyries obviously took that timeout to discuss how to set up the offense here. There's Alan Eilich playing great individual defense at the front of the pack, and the defensive wall is able to kind of roll NC off to the infield there. Now the pack picking up speed. The Brides are going to try to stay ahead of the action here.
Tough wall there for NC to break through. But Skarin Yeager is up there at the front trying to play some offense on Lightning. But Lightning spins around and is able to rejoin the wall. NC Jammer is still not out with 12 seconds left in the jam. Skaters are now just skating it out, trying to keep it clean in the last few seconds to avoid picking up any unnecessary penalties.
All right, no points for either side, and we're going to have another official timeout, it would appear. At least that is a signal. There has not been an auditory one just yet. So we'll hold for that.
Are you having fun and want more roller derby action? Well, lucky for you, we have another game after this one. That's going to be the Schoolyard Scrappers and the Brutal Beauties. And then coming up on October 14th, there'll be a night you won't want to miss. Our Coffin Draggers are going to take on the Schoolyard Scrappers, followed by our Brutal Beauties against the Bombshells. We can't wait to have you back on October 14th. If you want to pre-order tickets for the October 14th bout, you'll get a little bit of a discount. You can find QR codes posted around the warehouse or ask any worker to help you out.
And our season opener back on the 2nd of this month. Of course, the Bombshells and Coffin Draggers opened up things. Coffin Draggers came out victorious, so they're 1-0 on the season and will be looking to build on that next bout out. Bombshells played a close one, of course, and will be looking to get on the win schedule. There goes Skid Vicious up to the front of the pack, and Skid's going to be battling those Valkyries blockers, and Skid gets through. All of You Die is your jammer for the Valkyries, and Olive shakes loose now as well and is going to put on the chase.
Both jammers coming up for a scoring pass. Runaway Brides trying to play some offense for Skid Vicious. Skid calling it off before Olive can pick up any points, playing it safe there.
At the jammer line for the Valkyries, number 13, Hugs and Stitches, jamming for the Runaway Brides. Number 19, The Kituation.
Stitches playing some jammer-on-jammer defense right off the line there. Kitch struggling to get out past Stitches. Ooh, takes a tumble there over Holly Hood.
Another collision at the front of the pack. Kitch is going to pop up out of it. There's NC doing battles and is out of play. NC is out of play, to speak. And Kitch gets through, and Kitch is your lead jammer for the Brides.
Stitch is almost out there, but gets caught up on Alan I'll Hate Ya.
Yeah, Al with more great defense once again there on the front of the pack. Kitch is going to race around the outside. Now Duck trying to get a weave around, scaring Jaeger, and Jaeger's going to deliver a nice block. Reroute Kitch off to the infield, and then Kitch just kind of trips over incidentally over Hugs and Stitch's skates, trying to get back on the track, and Kitch goes down.
Just a few seconds left in this jam. Let's see if Kitch is able to make it around for some more points. Not quite. And it looks like both jammers picked up a penalty in that last jam, so we're going to have a double jammer down. When both teams' jammers pick up a penalty, nobody gets a power jam. And both of those jammers from the previous jam sit as blockers. Now we have number 131, Muerta, and number 4, Cherry Kiss, jamming. Once again, both former minor assaults. Muerta struggling behind Lightning the Queen.
Big collision there as Muerta was trying to get past that pivot for the Runaway Brides. Takes a tumble.
Mimi Mahler delivering a hit to Lightning the Queen, allowing Muerta to escape in turn 4. Followed closely by Cherry Kiss. Cherry is coming in hot. Muerta's coming up for some points. Ooh. And we have a lead change right at the end there.
Looks like Muerta may have been able to call it off as she was sliding down the track. We'll have to check on that from the end. That was my perception of it. I'll check with you. I'll default to Volt because Volty's got the better eyes and is a skater.
I don't know. I was just in the right place where the rail was obstructing me.
Okay.
So
yeah,
I saw Muerta fall. I didn't see a call off, but we'll see what the refs say.
So we have 3 points for both sides. So Muerta did call it off, but in the process, Cherry blasted through and got 3 points. or maybe Cherry called it off. That's immaterial. It's 3 points for either side, and this is an official timeout.
During this timeout, I'm going to tell you about another one of our incredible sponsors. Tucci's Touch Massage specializes in deep tissue, trigger point therapy, and much more. Come visit their booth and get a free 10-minute chair massage tonight. And don't forget to enter the raffle to win a 30-minute in-home massage from Tucci's Touch.
Official timeout comes to a close. They were kind of getting everything sorted out there with that complicated call off at the end of that previous jam. It'll once again be Stitches for the Valkyries and Cherry Kiss for the Brides. Stitches at the back of the pack and is trying to get through the usual defensive wall at the back there with Al's
Novocaine playing some offense for Baby, who's able to get out past Remy Ruckus as they fall.
Ah, so that is Baby. I thought it was Cherry, and that is my mistake. Stitches tries to get off and gives a straight up aw shucks and kicks at the infield with a toe stop after not being able to stay on the track, and then Novocaine says, let's do it again. Stitches now reestablishing behind, and we'll go to work.
Strong four wall there that Baby comes up to. Stitches playing defense with their team.
Jam comes to a close. Checking on the score now, once again, as kind of a complicated and clustered call off.
Did she pass everyone? Okay. I thought she didn't make it past the second one. I thought it was only 5.
Just remaining quiet while the discussion continues.
I want to say she didn't pass anyone because she was stuck behind. She was stuck behind the Hudson Stitches. I didn't see her pass. That was the only scoring pass. So yeah. So they only had one scoring pass.
All right. Scoring discussion over. Runaway Brides have 5 points on the board. Runaway Brides also have a power jam. This time it actually is Cherry Kiss at the jammer line. It's because they both have pigtails that look the same now. Baby used to have super, super long braids, and now their hair looks the same. I didn't recognize Nikki tonight, so just ask me. Weaving in and out, Cherry Kiss, and then just gets stood up, straight up. Mimi Mahler putting a shoulder into the old clavicle there. And now the Valkyries are going to come back together on the front of the pack and try to keep Cherry from getting out once again.
Mimi Mahler and All of You Die holding Cherry in the back. Cherry jukes through.
Cherry is now still trying to weave in and out. NC Jammer is standing right in front of Lightning McQueen. Not really allowed to say why yet. Crawling around the outside, Cherry Kiss now is going to try to weave through. Goes down, takes a tumble.
Just a few seconds left in this jam.
There we go. For about the last 40 seconds of the jam, Cherry Kiss had the star cover in her hand, and technically speaking, announcer protocol would keep you from saying, look at that, she has the star cover in her hand. So I just kind of had to sit there and, like a no-hitter, you're not supposed to talk about it.
And
no points? Excuse me, go ahead.
Up to the jammer line for, I believe, the first time tonight for the Doomsday Valkyries is Skarin Yeager. And that is Holly Hood for the Runaway Brides.
And before we get to that, look at everybody use their first Jaeger cheer. And we've got a team timeout. It is a team timeout. Runaway Brides have used their first second half timeout. So we'll take a brief break in the action. 1:17:37, Brides in front. We'd like to let you know about an upcoming fun time event where you can have a whole lot of really tasty chili for not a lot of bucks, and it's all a fundraiser for the Arizona Derby Dames regulators. That's right. These very same regulators that keep action on the track safe and make sure that everybody skates in the right direction. No, I'm just kidding. That's not what they do. Keeps penalties and score and these things where you've seen multiple regulators discussing scoring and penalties. That's because this is a real sport. What we do is a real sport, and so it has rules and penalties and whatnot. Anyway, to raise money for the regulators Chili Cook-Off is 6 p.m. October 21st, Saturday, October 21st at 6 p.m., and that's at Daddy-O's Grill in Phoenix. We'll tout that a few more times tonight.
And it looks like we do have a power jam for the Doomsday Valkyries. That is Muerta skating the power jam. Tumble there in turn 2. Lets the Valkyries try to separate the pack, but they're unsuccessful as Alan Eilhacher rejoins that wall. Muerta taken to the infield by Holly Hood.
Muerta now coming up to the pack again. Yeah, that was kind of hard to get out. You were going to get blocked really hard by one of the three of them up there, so you just kind of had to pick your poison, and that was Holly Hood delivering the pain. Meanwhile, Muerta's trying to shake loose. Again, just the defense grinding together. Holly Hood breaks free at the back of the pack and is able to get up to the front with her blockers again.
12 seconds left in this power jam, and Muerta is still not out of the pack.
And at this point, everybody's just going to let the clock expire. Technically, if the jammer never gets out, nobody can call the jam off,
and no
then
jammer.
everybody just kind of rolls around looking at each other once it's all academic at that point.
And that is the Runaway Brides captain, Lightning the Queen, jamming for the Runaway Brides. And it looks like it's going to be another power jam, this time for the Brides. Muerta picked up a penalty in that last jam.
Whole lot of blockers being shifted around now rapidly by the Brides as they prepare their power offense.
Lightning the Queen backing up, trying to get a little speed coming into the pack once that whistle blows.
It's been some very defensively successful power jams on the evening here. You've really seen a lot of them, and here we go again. Oh, wow. Lightning's able to kind of weave around a block there, stitches. Trying to throw a block with the aid of Mimi Mahler, but Lightning gets clear. So 40 seconds left in the power jam.
Runaway Brides taking some tumbles. Lightning the Queen, though, delivering some hard hits, but taken to the infield by Mimi Mahler. The Valkyries were out of play in the front because the Runaway Brides were able to hold Remy in the back and define the pack. Now Lightning comes up for another scoring pass, communicating with her teammates on how to help her.
Lightning blocked off to the infield there by Mimi Mahler at the very tail end of the jam clock. And the power jam has expired.
9 points there for Lightning the Queen in that power jam.
Jamming for the Valkyries is going to be All of You Die. This is the last jam of the third quarter, and your Bride's jammer is Ash Smash'em. Ash trying to find an opening along the inside, kind of takes a hip check from Jaeger, and then Jaeger's going to spring into action trying to help with Olive, but Olive gets dumped hard there in the back straightaway.
NC Jammer and Jaeger are working together to play some great defense. Cherry Kiss playing offense for Ash Smash'em. Both jammers out of the pack. Olive is fast. Ash Smash'em biding her time to pick the right moment to call the jam off. When you're in the lead like this, you do not want the other team to have time to score more points. That is why you see these Brides jammers waiting till their perfect moment to call the jam off.
All right, we have reached the end of the third quarter, so we will step aside for our final quarter break of the evening. We'll be back with you in 5 minutes. It's 126-37, Runaway Brides in front.
All right, Derby fans, get ready. We're going to do another merch toss from our wonderful raffle team. We're going to do our tennis ball toss, excuse me. Make some noise if you want to. All right, folks. This is going to be our last quarter of the game. Both teams have 15 more minutes to leave it all on the track.
Your score right now, Runaway Brides 126, Valkyries 37. That's Hollywood on the jammer line. Well, was on the jammer line for the Runaway Brides. To be fair, big collision. Wow. Al and Mimi at the back of the pack down hard. And then that's also Muerta for the Valkyries jamming. Muerta's trying to angle along and uses the rail and takes off. Muerta's your lead jammer for the Valkyries. Hollywood is at the front of the pack, and Clutch Cannon and All of You Die are going to be ruled out of play. Here comes Muerta now on the scoring attempt. Jaeger kind of puts a backing elbow into Slaughtermelon and opens up an opening. Valkyries are going to get 3 points on the board. So 126-40, Runaway Brides on top. Your jammer for the Valkyries this time around is going to be Hugs and Stitches. Jamming for the Runaway Brides for the first time this evening is Astro Thought.
Big hit there by NC on the Runaway Brides jammer, as Stitches is your lead jammer for the Doomsday Valkyries.
Astro Thought now is going to kind of try to race by, and while NC Jammer was occupied with the block, Astro Thought gets out as well. Now working through the pack, here comes Hugs and Stitches, spun off to the infield. Everybody's trying to catch up. Checking on the score, and that's going to be 3 more points for the Doomsday Valkyries there, as they have kicked off scoring here in the fourth quarter. At the jammer line for the Runaway Brides is going to be Skid Vicious, and your jammer for the Doomsday Valkyries, All of You Die. Both jammers quickly up to the pack, Olive looking for an opening. Front end of the pack getting dangerously far away, and there's a block from Mimi at the front of the pack, and Olive is your lead jammer for the Valkyries. Oh, Skid takes a block there. Oh, wow. Skid got real close to the edge of the track there, but that's what the kick plate's for. Meanwhile, here comes All of You Die.
Skid is fighting against Mimi Mahler to get out of the pack. And Skid takes a whip off of Al. Skid's trying to skate fast and protect her point there as Olive tries to get that jammer point.
Olive decks to the inside through the corner, and Skid up to the challenge. You saw Olive try to take the inside away going down through the first turn, and as they came up into the backstretch, Skid was up to the challenge. So 5 more points. Valkyries are putting together a little scoring run here to start the fourth quarter. We are, for the Brides, once again going to have Astro Thought. Jammer for the Valkyries is NC Jammer. Astro Thought runs up. I saw kind of well, there goes NC along the inside. Let's dispense with that as Astro Thought tumbles to the infield and has to reestablish anyhow. So what happened before that is rather immaterial.
Remy Ruckus is holding Astro on the high there. Astro able to get out in turn 3 with NC coming around for a scoring pass.
NC now getting back up on the track behind her blockers and looking for an opening. Gets forced up to the outside by Lightning, who then closes the door on the inside just as ably. And with Astro coming down the front stretch, it is called off. And 3 more points on the board for the Valkyries. 126-51, Runaway Brides in front. Your jammer for the Runaway Brides is Baby.
And that is Scaren Jaeger jamming for the Doomsday Valkyries.
Apparently you only get it the first time, I guess. Whoop. Yeah, there I heard somebody. Baby along the inside. There's Jaeger going to block. Oh, hey, Jaeger's trying to outrun Al.
But Al is out of play, has to let Jaeger go. Jaeger smiling as they come around the turn, coming up to the pack. And Baby calls it off, so Jaeger can't get any points.
Yeah, my eyesight's not so good, but I think Al was out of play. I think. Kind of lost count on those little tick marks on the track over there, but I think Al was out of play. Anyhow, we've got 2 points on the board for the Brides, 128-51, and it's going to be Lightning McQueen for the Brides at the jammer line. Jammer for the Valkyries, NC Jammer.
49.
NC sneaking through on the low, avoiding a hit from Lightning there to be your lead jammer.
Lightning skates out to get clear of the pack as well to put the pressure on, turned around, shouted out blocking instructions to her sister and a couple of other skaters on the Brides there. There's Astro taking a tumble, just right in the way of Stitches, and Astro just said, I'm not going to be in that big of a hurry to get up. Made Stitches go around, kind of created turbulence. 4 more points for the Valkyries. Valkyries are absolutely, as Volti had just said to start this quarter, you got 15 minutes to leave it all out there, so why wouldn't you leave it all out there? So here we go.
Yeah, that was a great scoring pass from NC there.
Absolutely. 128-55 Brides. We got Hollywood for the Runaway Brides.
And that is Olive You Die once again for the Doomsday Valkyries. Olive taken to the rail by Al, but Mimi helps her out. And Hollywood is your lead jammer as Olive is still in the pack coming up to the second straightaway.
Olive bumped up into the rail, gets spun around, tries to sneak around Nova. Nova usually wise to that sort of move. Now here we are on a scoring pass. There goes Hollywood weaving through the pack. I hate when I turn my head away from the mic and forget to move my mic. That happens when you're looking around too much. Hollywood finishes off a scoring pass. 24 seconds left here on this jam clock. They're still fighting to get now. They aren't. As soon as I say it, there goes Olive You Die out of the pack for the Valkyries.
Olive is tired. That
Olive
is a
is
tough
worn
wall to get
out.
out past.
Oh, yeah.
Jaeger doing some nice defense there on the high.
Right.
It was almost like Jaeger caught Hollywood softly on the high.
If you're not sure why Olive You Die looked absolutely exhausted getting through the pack, just here, try this. Put on a helmet and then run into a garage door about 18 times as hard as you can. That is why. And now, at the jammer line for the Runaway Brides, it's Tequila, the birthday.
Jamming for the first time tonight,
right.
I believe.
Jamming for the first time tonight. NC Jammers, your jammer for the Valkyries, however. NC up to the front of the pack, and NC says, I got a birthday gift for you. NC is lead jammer for the Valkyries. Tequila shakes loose as well. Tequila shaking and not stirring around the first turn, and here comes along the inside NC jammer. Now got to catch up, and look at that interesting technique there. Big block along the inside. Here comes Tequila. NC's going to get back up on the track and call it. I just watched. Who in the world was that? But they just threw Lightning into the path of the. Some of this teamwork you see out there is phenomenal, man. I'll tell you what. 2 more points for the Valkyries, 135-57. We've got just over 7 minutes to go until the end of regulation, and it is a team timeout for the Runaway Brides, their final timeout of the bout.
Once again, I want to remind you about our Arizona Derby Dames raffle. We have some great raffle prizes tonight. If you haven't visited our raffle table, it's in the corner of our warehouse. And there's some really fun stuff there tonight, including a coffee maker, I believe. You'll see some of our league members coming around with raffle tickets for you to purchase. $1 per ticket or 6 for $5. And we also have our 50-50 raffle going. That is a cash raffle. You get half the cash, and the other half benefits our youth skaters, the minor assaults.
I can say I saw the coffee maker. That sounds wonderful. Not a coffee drinker myself. I do like my tea latte, but the coffee maker looks great. It is much better than a Hamilton Beach 4-cup model that you yanked from a Best Western in Liberal, Kansas. That's oddly specific, and that should not in any way suggest that I have ever yanked a Hamilton Beach 4-cup coffee maker model from a Best Western in Liberal, Kansas. 7:04 to go in the fourth quarter in regulation. 135-57 Brides.
And it looks like Shank Williams will be jamming for the Runaway Brides. That'll be for the first time tonight.
Shank Williams' first time at the jammer line, and for the Valkyries is going to be Muerta. All right, sliding on the inside. Muerta takes off along the inside Copening and is your lead jammer for the Valkyries. Old Hank trying to get through the pack there and gets Old Shank, excuse me. I see it. I always butcher a skater's name the first time I try to make a joke, and it's awful. Muerta catches up to the pack. I'm so sorry, Shank Williams. I owe you much better. Muerta to the inside now. Baby kind of escorting Muerta off the track, and Shank along the inside. There goes Old Shank. Old Shank shaking clear of the pack. Muerta now kind of gets blocked to the high side. It is going to try to get back up behind that two wall of Runaway Brides blockers, and Muerta calls it off. Three points for the Valkyries on the board. We got 6 minutes to go in regulation. Hugs and stitches for the Valkyries, and that's going to be Astro Thought once again for the Runaway Brides. Jam underway. Both skaters quickly up to the pack. Stitches a little bit of an advantage, but now Astro's laying around the outside. There goes Astro around the outside. Astro's your lead jammer. For those Runaway Brides, Stitches is still at the back of the pack. Gets bumped off there. One blocker back there, but that blocker is getting their dollar's worth. That's Cherry Kiss at the back of the pack. Astro now up on a scoring pass. Quickly catching up, kind of trying to look for an opening. Astro weaving along behind Tequila and Ash. Takes a tumble down to their knees coming through the corner, and then gets blocked hard there. Ooh, big block there in the corner. 16 seconds left in the jam. Astro runs square. That was kind of a wow. There another collision. I heard a couple. NC Jammer went down hard as well. Astro Thought ran squarely into, I believe that was Remy Ruckus, and there was like a thunderclap. That was a collision of two very strong individuals, and they just sort of bounced off each other, and it was a push. And that was fascinating to watch as an absolute fan of blocking, may I tell you. 5 points for the Brides there, 4:30 to go in regulation. Brides in front, 140-60. It's going to be All of You Die for the Valkyries, and that's the Kitsch, number 19 for the Runaway Brides. Olive's at the back, dealing with the defense of the Brides, and Kitsch is going to find an opening. So there goes Kitsch, your lead jammer for the Runaway Brides. Still fighting to get through is Olive, and still unable to get through. Defenders for the Brides back there making sure of that. And working their way through the pack is Kitsch. Kitsch finishes off that scoring pass. All of You Die now going to come out as well and trail along behind as Kitsch works her way back to the pack. Valkyries trying to stay away and not become points themselves. Five points for the Brides there. 3:20 to go in regulation. It's going to be Skarin Jaeger for the Valkyries. Hey, they're back. They found their seats. And then we have Lightning the Queen for the Runaway Brides. Lightning finds an opening along the inside and takes off. Jaeger's going to take off as well, and now it's going to be a jammer race back to the pack. Pouring into the front straight away, it's going to be Lightning the Queen. Skarin Jaeger's putting the pedal down. Whooshing through the turn and catching up quickly. Lightning the Queen calls it off. Well, that's always exciting when that happens. You never know what's going to happen, but yeah, ended up being what usually happens is that no points for either side. 2:30 to go in regulation. Muerta is your jammer for the Valkyries. And jamming for the Brides is Baby. Baby gets bumped off by Mimi. Mimi Mahler bumping off Milani Mangler. And now Baby weaving through, and Baby's your lead jammer for the Brides. Looks like we got 2:08 to go in regulation at the moment. Muerta shakes through the pack and is out and clear as your second jammer. catching up to the pack and now on a scoring pass. There's Baby, dodges a block from Mimi Mahler, and Baby finishes that scoring pass. Muerta now catching up, and Baby's going to let some more time run off the clock.
Only 4. We got little Tom tucked in.
4 more for the Brides, 149 to 60.
Here we go.
It'll be Cherry Kiss for the Brides, and that's going to be NC Jammer for the Doomsday Valkyries. Waiting for the start of action here, but no, we're going to have an official timeout, so the officials are going to need to talk this one over momentarily. So we will take just a brief break of the action. Right now it's 1:19 to go in regulation. Runaway Brides 149, Doomsday Valkyries 60. $1:19 to go in regulation. Now back to you with musical backing. It's not just me doing spoken word poetry in silence. NC Jammer is at the jammer line number 38 for the Valkyries, and jamming once again for the Brides is going to be Cherry Kiss, just like it was going to be before the timeout. Big collision there. Remy Ruckus tried to get in the way. Cherry Kiss had a better angle, and Cherry Kiss wins that block and is your lead jammer for the Brides. Big collision there, clearing the way. Lightning McQueen just kind of wipes out a couple of people. NC gets up behind Lightning again. NC is able this time, though, to shake through the pack and get clear, so we'll try to keep this to one scoring pass for Cherry Kiss. 26 seconds left on the jam clock. Cherry is just kind of mid-pack, and Cherry calls it off. We will set up for one final jam in regulation, and then we'll check, of course, on penalties and possible penalty jams, which are bonus jams that may follow regulation. We'll have to see. At the moment, though, for this last regulation jam, we're going to have Hugs and Stitches for the Valkyries and Novocaine for the Runaway Brides. As last jams tend to be, and now it's just an effort for nobody to get a penalty on the Runaway Brides, because if they can skate cleanly, then the game will definitely end now that the quarter clock has expired. So that's kind of what you're seeing develop here, is that's why everything may look a little odd. Now there goes Hugs and Stitches trying to shake clear, and Stitches does. Stitches is the lead jammer for the Valkyries. We've got 24 seconds left on the jam clock, no seconds left on the quarter clock. Novocaine fighting at the back of the pack. This, of course, is Nova's first and only time jamming in this bout. Nova basically just out there to serve as a placeholder jammer while also playing defense. You see at the back of the pack there. 4 seconds to go, and that's going to do it on the jam clock. Stitches does call it off. We'll check on that final amount of scoring. And Stitches does fight around all 5 skaters to get 5 points on that last scoring pass. Your score at the moment, 153.65. We'll check on the finality thereof momentarily. Let's see here. Okay, we got some bonus roller derby. You see the regulators making that signal. That means that the team that was ahead had a penalty, and the team that was behind did not have any penalties. And so what that leads to is called a penalty jam. So we now get an untimed jam of 60 seconds. Signaled by that Puerto Rican guy. And so now that jam could hypothetically proceed forever, but obviously, you know, the Valkyries would have to never get a penalty and the Brides would have to never not get a penalty. It's going to be a power jam for the Valkyries, though, and it's NC Jammers, so we're going to get our money's worth out of this penalty jam. NC gets routed off to the infield by Astro, and now has to wait for the blockers to kind of just inch by. Now NC back up on the track, and now is going to get to work. Jaeger running around the outside, now squares up to block, and is going to try to, and NC able to get through. Lightning the Queen tried to shut the door, and NC able to get the angle and gets the better of it. Knocks Lightning the Queen askew. We've got 29 seconds left in the penalty power jam. Lightning the Queen that time gets the better of that block. So we're at 1-1 in the moment. NC up to the high side. Lightning is going to kind of push that other blocker around like a shield. Oh, that's her sister. Well, that's why. And Lightning is just using Cherry like a shield. We've got NC as mid-pack. We got 5 seconds left. And NC is just going to ensure that NC believes that she has gotten all of those points on the scoring pass. So we'll check on that. We'll check on the penalty assessments once again. So 4 more points for the Doomsday Valkyries to tack on there in the penalty jam. We'll wait for the signal from the infield here. I see whistle and mouth, and we're about ready to declare this official. There you go. Final score, Runaway Brides 153, Doomsday Valkyries 69. The Runaway Brides are 1-0. And if you're going to defend your title, you got to start 1-0. Don't you? Runaway Brides pick up where they left off last season. Come on down trackside and slap the track in an appreciation of your favorite skaters coming on through. Let's hear it for the Runaway Bride starting off the season on the right skate with that big victory. And now coming around as well, it's the Doomsday Valkyries. And let's hear it for the Valkyries. Putting up an extremely solid effort as well. Running up into the defending champions to open your season is no fun way, and also the team that ended your season last year is also no fun way, but the Valkyries up to the challenge and did themselves proud as well. We will step aside now for an intermission. The length of that intermission is 30 minutes. It's a 30-minute intermission. So we'll step aside, and right at 8 o'clock, that ought to be the whistle of your second bout of the evening, the Brutal Beauties versus the Bombshells.